Welcome into the Ringiverse. This is, of course, the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. We are Jomi, the explainer, Adeniran. You've got questions, he's got answers. We are Steve, the architect, Ahlman, the builder and tinker of things. We are Old Man Van, he of the receding resurgent hairline, a cowboy Van. Yeah, motherfucker. We are.
What? All right, you just can't start adding
That's your new
own
thing?
shit, making up your
Come
own
on, man.
nicknames. You can't give yourself a nickname.
I can't make up my own nicknames. That's the only thing I'm good for on this podcast.
No, you can make our nicknames. You can't make your own nickname.
Yeah, that's a little.
Yes, it is.
That's fraudulent, bro.
I made up Old Man Van.
I mean,
You guys call me old, and then I call myself Old Man Van. I'm good at making up nicknames.
We didn't call you the cowboy,
It's been a
though.
thing, but I can call myself that. You guys are saying so toxic. So
What?
I have to.
You're
submit-
not. You're the
I
toxic
know
police.
you're not talking.
I have
You're
to-
the toxic
I have
police.
to submit to what you guys say about me, but I don't have my.
I'm just
own
saying you're not
autonomy.
you're not letting that gestate and like grow into something.
You-
You're just like,
you-
boom, this is what I
You
am.
trying to call somebody toxic is like Eric Adams trying to call somebody corrupt.
Yeah, you don't know. That's all allegations. Anyway, Baby
Allegedly,
Chuck, the 24 karat closer. He's on opt-out today. We are also joined by the Midnight Collective, Aleya, O'Brien, Zenieris. Aleya, I gotta tell you something. I was in New York this past Saturday,
Oh, it's happening.
Oh, it's locked in?
and I was hanging out with my friend Tommy Alter and somebody else,
Ooh.
Hubby?
Mr. Dylan O'Brien was hanging out with us. Shout out to Dylan. And I just want to let you know, Aleya, all right,
Things might be happening.
He knows?
be ready.
Hold on.
That sounds like a threat.
Did you discuss this with Dylan O'Brien? Did
What?
you discuss that you've been calling me Aleya O'Brien to Dylan O'Brien?
Yeah, just be ready.
Okay,
That's all I'm
so
saying.
I have to kill myself. Thank you so much.
No,
Please do not.
Okay, listen. Here's the deal. You're a giddy schoolgirl, and this is the one that gave it away. You like him. I'm trying to hook you up. I try to give all you guys what you want, and all I get
don't
is
think hooking
criticize,
someone up-
criticize.
Hooking someone up is not calling them their last name.
Arjuna, the watcher Ramgopal, and the chocolate drop himself, Mr. Midnight, Oil Slick.
You
He's not in this environment.
What?
Oil slick is crazy.
What's
Oil
going
slick
on?
is
No
crazy.
bro. We
Wait, hold on. What's the difference?
What do you mean, what's the difference? What's the difference?
Let me ask you a question.
Think
Wait,
about it for like 2 seconds.
Wait. What's the difference between chocolate and oil? What's the difference?
Bro, you know the
Hey,
difference.
your ass shouldn't be talking.
What's
You
the
know
difference
the
between
Don't make
chocolate
me
and oil?
your ass should. Let's move on.
Oh, we don't have to move on. We talked about it earlier. I just want to let you guys know. I just want to let you guys know. We talked about it earlier. Hold on. Before we get to it. And we are the Midnight Boys. Let's get to it.
Hello, Ringiverse fans. I regret to inform you that due to the initiation of Deep Shadow Protocol, this bit had to be edited out of the pod. I know, I'm just as disappointed as you are. Thanks as always for listening, and the Midnight Boys, pew pew, we'll get back to you shortly.
This is the Ringers Nexus podcast feed for all things fandom. Follow us on socials. Insta, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. For now, save Jomi's job. Jomi, Arjuna was trying to explain something to us about TikTok, and they don't do music anymore.
What do you mean?
You don't know what the fuck's going on.
I mean, they used to, right? At Universal, like they had a whole music thing where they took off a whole bunch of music, but they put the music back on.
No, you're wrong. See, okay, somebody made a point. That's not what we're talking about. Somebody
What are you
made a
talking
point
about?
about you, and I'm going to call it out right now.
My God.
You got the nickname The Explainer earlier on.
I don't explain anything.
Not anymore.
No.
We're going to have to give you every
Oh.
single week
Oh my God.
an opportunity to regain that nickname. All right? or else we're replacing it
Okay.
with Jomi the Milk Merchant of Adeniran.
That's tough.
Because that's one thing that's been consistent.
That's tough.
So you must, we are, and I'm old as
So
fuck.
it's
It's
a
not
man-
that my hairline's not getting any better.
Yeah, I'm
Steve is
definitely
building
going
and
to
tinkering.
HR. Yeah,
Charles
it's
is
enough
the brunch
of that.
hottie. Could be the opt-outer. You're
Opt-outimus Prime.
You've actually built other parts.
Opt-outimus Prime.
Opt-outimus Prime.
Top of the dome. That's why they keep me around.
Opt-outimus Prime.
Megatron.
And you've
Not
you've
that's Negatron.
explored different areas of leveling up as a podcaster. You're doing great. But the explanations, we haven't really gone to them.
No.
But your love for white women has endured.
That's not true.
Ooh, it has increased.
Yo, speaking of that, before we get into the show, the Sinners trailer dropped. Jomi.
So, yeah, it looks good.
There were complaints from the Mateo Spotify office. You were watching. They said you kept watching the trailer on repeat.
I was just like,
bricked up.
Bricked up once Haley. Haley walked across the.
It's actually not Milk Merchant. It's Jomi bricked up Adeniran.
Ooh.
Honestly, I take that over Milk Merchant.
Brickzilla?
Brickzilla. Jomi. Okay, I want y'all to know something. Okay, so Brickzilla, there's somebody else who has that name.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Charles knows. See what I'm saying? They lie. They lie. Charles knows.
Wait, what?
Shut up, Charles.
When have I ever lied?
Charles knows. You know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Charles knows.
I did not.
Charles knows. Brickzilla, or 5-inch warrior to tell us which one you want.
5-inch warrior is fun for me, man. That's fine.
Okay, it's good.
That's fine.
It's good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All of Nigeria just went, nah, we can't live with that. We're now on YouTube. You can watch Every Midnight Boys House of R and Talk to Thrones episode on youtube.com/@ringofverse. Like, comment, and subscribe. Program reminders! This week, House of R will give you their deep dive on the latest episode of Rings of Power and Agatha All Along. I want to tell you guys something real quick, and I want you guys to bring this up to her. I've broken Joe.
How so?
So I'm so deep into the lore of Game of Thrones that Joe has stopped responding to me. I've broken Joe. I called Joe. I learned about a new battle or new character. Have you guys heard of Young Griff?
No.
Oh, my God.
You have my album come out?
Young Griff. See, that's what I told Joe. Young Griff is a guy who's pretending like he's Aegon Targaryen. He's trying to make people think that he's the actual son of Ella Martell and Rhaegar Targaryen. He's an imposter, but some people think he really is him. These are the little tidbits that I'm into. I'm all into Young Griff now, figuring out Young Griff. I'm into Young Griff. I'm into the Blackfire Rebellion. I'm into different things regarding Game of Thrones. And I would hit Joe up about these things at first, and Joe would get into a 30-minute, hour conversation about all the different lore. And I called Joe yesterday, and she did not hit me back.
I think you've exhausted
only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
I've beaten Joe. Joe, it's not going to stop. It's not. I'll call her right now. She is the lore queen, and we nerd out in lore together, and that's it. That's our connection. So, Joe, I want to let you know it's not going to stop. I got more things to talk to you about. I want to talk about the Crown Lands and the Storm Lands with you. Okay. This Friday, Button Mash is coming back to talk about the latest Legend of Zelda game. What is this?
The new Legend of Zelda game. You play as Zelda this time.
What's the name of the fucking game?
Let's
See how you just tried to play me?
What do you mean trying to play you?
I said,
I
what
told
is
you there's
this?
a new Legend of
And
Zelda
you said
game.
the new Legend of Zelda game as if you were all up on it. And
I'm
then you were
not.
like,
You turned into Button Mash to find out about it.
What is the game?
You play as Zelda, like Link saves her.
You play as Zelda?
Yeah, you play as
Princess Zelda?
Yeah.
Oh, woke.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's woke.
That's not
Turns
woke.
out Zelda's
what?
the girl.
Yeah, like that's in the 80s, we wouldn't have done that.
You literally played as Samus
Yeah,
in
I'm about to
Metroid.
say, Metroid.
What happened?
Samus.
You played as Metroid and Samus.
I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about specifically with Zelda.
Okay.
Okay. Like it you can actually track the progress of feminism in society by characters in video games getting their own adventures.
So
I'm almost positive this is not the first time you get to play as Zelda.
Is it not? I don't know.
It's one of the very few times you get to play as Zelda. But
Yeah.
yes.
So there's other times?
Yeah.
What other
She's in
games?
Smash Bros.
I know, she's awesome. Awesome. What other games you get to play as Zelda?
There's like a couple, like a Dynasty Warriors-esque skin that they did
You
when they
don't
were.
know.
I'm telling you right now.
Why are you always passing this information off as if you know about Zelda and stuff?
Honestly, this was the first time that Jomi could have been the explainer. And
Well,
he
I'm looking at it right
You know
now.
what?
In the early 90s, there was a Zelda's
It don't
Adventure.
count if you looking it up. All right.
Let me ask you a question. Seriously though, we should ask, and I asked Steve this. Steve, if you have to look up the information, does it count as explaining it?
I mean, we explained it to the audience, the people at home.
Steve has spoken. Steve, the Judge Ahlman.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I guess it counts. Charles, your point is well taken though.
The court. The court does hear you.
Sustained.
Hey, just to let you guys know, it's a little later that we're doing this one. And so,
Yeah, the 7 p.m. Thursday or Wednesday energy is a little.
It's a lot.
And on Saturday, Ringerverse Recommends comes back with our best recommendations for the month of September. I know what my recommendation is going to be. Easy.
Same.
Is it okay to say it now, or should we wait for Ringerverse Recommends?
Save it.
What do you think, Arjuna? Tease it. It's a fighting game.
I'm going to take you for a ride.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I'm going to
It's
take
so,
you for
I'm
a
so
ride.
I'm so like fucking fucked up because like if I get into something, I automatically spend like $500.
Yeah, you were talking. Yeah, I know what you're
thank
talking about.
God you
That's
didn't get into
It's like
Warhammer.
the game can't the game is on there. I buy the game
Mm-hmm.
and you just can't play the game with the controller. You need a new controller.
You know you don't. You can
What?
play. You know you can
This
play with a
is-
normal controller.
No,
you
no,
just
no,
bought
it's-
a fight
he's-
stick.
No. You
No.
it's
Not
a
for
waste
him.
of time.
Not for him.
I need to play it with the regular controller, and all of a sudden, Box comes to the house. Kalika's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, she opens this big ass PlayStation. Like, it's a PlayStation controller, so I can play the game on it. She goes, "Get out of my face, get." And then I get up and I leave. She's like, "Where are you going?" I go to Best Buy to get a USB extender so I could play the game right away. Boom, game comes out. They get $500 out of me right away. Bang, bang.
The controller was $500.
It was $250.
It's an arcade stick, isn't it?
It's like $250, $300, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you bought an arcade stick.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck that shit. I've been waiting for the game to come out for years.
It's great.
But on today's show, we're looking at episode 3 of Agatha All Along, and we're revisiting Joker in anticipation of the sequel, Joker. Arthur Fleck, as he laughs his way into insanity and into your heart. It's not bad.
Are we reviewing the new Lady Gaga Harlequin album? Y'all see that?
Wait,
I
what?
did see that. I hadn't heard it. but-
She's like dropping a whole like
no.
Harlequin album.
All right, Agatha. Spoiler warnings for the MCU and Agatha. We're getting ready to talk about
Agatha All Along.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. I'll tell you something. You don't really need a spoiler warning for the MCU because this has nothing to do with it.
Whoa, we got a Mephisto drop.
Yeah, we do. Actually, there's some little hints in there. To begin our reactions, we bring you the Midnight Manifest. Now, this week it's different. Charles is opting out in protest. And so, being that he's opting out, Jomi is going to bring you the Midnight Manifest, giving you all the need to know about Agatha All Along. Take it away.
All right.
Do I just go? You gotta
Yeah, you go.
See what I'm saying?
I've this lit my
Joey
first
the
time.
explainer. You
You're
don't
nervous.
fucking go,
I am
bro.
nervous. This is my first
Why
time.
would you? How could you? How could you be? You want me
Well,
to do
because Charles does such a good job every week, I have to, somehow try to live up to that. Need you to relax. All right.
Do you know what that was? That was me plucking you off Charles's nutsack. Go ahead, and, go ahead and do the
Jesus
manifest.
Christ. All right. This is episode 3 of Agatha All Along, Through Many Miles of Tricks and Trials, directed by Rachel Goldberg and written by Cameron Squires. So the witches are on the road. Yay. Sharon, who they keep calling Mrs. Hart, tries to find a way out, but gets stuck in some gooky quicksand stuff and realizes she's stuck with the coven on the witches' road till the end. Speaking of which, as they start their journey, they come across a beach house, which is absolutely divine, and the kitchen is lovely, Sharon.
Add a little sass.
Picking up steam.
Oh,
Yeah,
He's doing
and
it.
this
He's
is
doing
Jomi's
good. Keep
manifest.
going. Doing good.
And they have to face the first of their trials upon the witch's road. The first trial is wine and some girl talk with a 30-minute timer. Everybody except Teen, who can't drink, and Agatha, who thinks she's better than this, takes a glass and drinks up. Seems easy enough, right? You'd be mistaken. Their faces swell up, Sharon passes out, and they realize Agatha hasn't drunken her glass yet. Eventually, they get Agatha to drink, and Jennifer, the potions witch, sends everybody on a hunt to grab ingredients to quell the wine's harmful effects. But as they do, they start to see moments from their past that haunt them. Alice sees her missing mom, who she's been searching for. Lilia sees an old family and starts speaking Russian. Jennifer sees an old doctor, and Agatha sees a baby in a crib and freaks the hell out. With the help of a sous vide, Teen's Blood, and an Agatha pep talk, Jennifer gets the potion together, and the coven drinks the potion just as the 30-minute timer hits 0, and the house starts to flood. They grab Sharon and all slide into the oven to escape, and end up back on the Richards Road and out of harm's way, only to find out that, gasp, Sharon is dead. Oh, and by the way, did I forget to mention that early in the episode, during a conversation between Jennifer and Teen, Jennifer mentions Mephisto by name?
Wow.
By name!
Something to think about. And that has been your Midnight Manifest for episode 3 of Agatha All Along.
Give it up for Jomi!
I like that.
Fantastic manifest, Jomi. Okay, Agatha All Along, Mint Boys, go.
I just yapped.
Okay. All right. No, okay. I think this is what the show should be like at its crux. Like the road trip of this episode, like trial of the week. We have some sort of like funhouse adventure with the Real Housewives of this witch coven.
Eastview,
Yeah, Real Housewives of Eastview. This is fun. I don't think I can really be mad about it. I think that this is a good, quippy, like fun time with Marvel. Like, I don't think I could find myself like, if you could find something wrong with how unconventionally not Marvel it is, sure, but I can't say that it wasn't fun.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think this is clearly an Agatha vehicle for Catherine Hahn. I think she's doing an excellent job, and they flanked her by some fun stuff. I thought Sharon, rest in peace, was fantastic this episode.
I've had a long day.
I've had a long
I don't know
day.
if she's dead.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it looked bad.
It's nice to end
She
the
looked
episode
dead.
and it's like, Sharon's dead. Who's Sharon?
Yeah. It also, maybe if she is dead, gives the show some stakes that other MCU shows don't have. Maybe we know that this is the
never know.
world where people run out of witch and they die, but Jomi, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I just thought the episode was, like Steve said, very much like crafted in a way that I think for the next couple of weeks, we're going to see them run into another trial and Agatha's going to give somebody a pep talk. And I think that works. I had a lot of fun with this episode.
I had a lot of fun too. Look, I think that the show, to me, I'm always interested in learning new things about new areas of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because the comic universe is so deep.
Yeah.
There's street level comics, there's military industrial complex comics, there's the magic part, there's the cosmic part, there's like the funny off-kilter part, all of that stuff. And so Marvel establishing this universe, this witchy type of universe, like Agatha is like the proof of concept for that. I think it works pretty well. I think the show is funny. I think Catherine Hahn is great. And I like watching people make a witch's brew.
I could small complaint here.
See, nah, you're going to do this.
Small
Don't do
complaint
this.
here. You couldn't have put a little bit of dry ice in that sink and have like a little like bubbly mist ooze in there?
That's the old school witch's brew.
I know, but I like that.
That's my problem with y'all.
Steve, this how I know you be dating them goth baddies, bro.
First of all,
you like,
I'm sorry.
you like,
Hold on,
can we get some dry ice in this?
Do you hear that?
Wait.
Do you use that?
Wait.
Do you hear that?
Wait.
What is that?
No. Steve?
I just like the dry ice effect.
Nah,
when
see,
you're-
because
when you're witches brew.
y'all, because
Yeah.
when they do that other stuff, y'all be like, man, why did they do that old school stuff, man? All that's old. We want new stuff. But then they don't do the new stuff. They do the new stuff. You're like, wow, what happened to my old stuff? Y'all want it both ways. Know what I'm saying?
I miss my dry ice witches brew. Call me
man.
traditional.
It's new witchcraft.
All right.
Did you guys drink witch's brew in elementary school?
Yeah.
What is that?
They like had like this stuff and it was like green, but it was like they put 7-Up in it.
Yeah, it was like
Ecto
7-Up
Cooler?
fruit punch kind of a
Ecto
thing.
Cooler?
But they,
No. It was like they called it like a witch's brew.
Nah.
Yeah.
And my mom found out that the teacher gave us some witch's brew. My mom fucking lost it.
was this when they were like afraid that Dungeons and Dragons was devil worship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a
okay.
big way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like my cousins were trying to put me on Dungeons and Dragons. I'm like, not in this motherfucking house.
yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. Some kids, they actually went into the. My mother used to repeat things that were so untrue. Like some kids actually went into the game.
Jumanji?
Yeah,
Like
And she
Jumanji
was saying like it was true.
They got caught.
She was saying like it was true. You know what happened in San Jose? Some kids actually went into the game and they went crazy. Haven't been heard of since. My
First of all, that sounds awesome.
my daddy
Second
would
of
be
all,
like-
That's a movie pitch right there.
My dad would be like, Cookie, that didn't happen. Pastor Franklin said that in church. It happened. Whatever, it didn't happen. The show works for me.
yes.
It's not. It can't be that scary. It's Marvel.
Maybe it can be.
Maybe it can be.
It was kind of scary at times.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
and there were some things at times that I didn't think that the show would actually do when they're talking about ghouls and goblins and stuff like that. Some scary points, but it can't be wall to wall scary.
I've seen like a couple of images that have flashed on the trailer for this show that I think we have yet to see. I don't want to spoil anything that I've seen in the trailer for anybody that hasn't, but it looked like almost daringly spooky for what Marvel has been before. And I'm like, oh, this might, like, we haven't seen something like this maybe since like Raimi's turn at like
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night and like Multiverse of Madness a little bit, where it gets like freaky and like there's a little like body horror zombie kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that the Marvel can play in this space a little bit, and the fact that we maybe even get the mention of by name Mephisto.
Oh my god!
Which, should we dive into that? Like, okay, like I hate to speculate already, but like if you say his name, does that mean that you have to do something with it?
I mean, you hope so.
Yeah,
Well,
he's introducing the show. This is it. He's here.
Really?
You think so?
Here.
Yes. We've been here before.
Have we ever heard the name?
No, we haven't.
They've never mentioned him. So I mean, and this is like a long-standing thing. If you've been listening to the podcast since like its inception, basically, the Mephisto theories have been. Remember WandaVision, even like Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki. Everybody's like, it's Mephisto, and it's never been Mephisto.
Yeah,
not even close. Right, and now we finally have a canon mention of him in the MCU.
Did we will this into existence?
I mean, I would say so. It could be cool.
I think they breadcrumbed you into this moment.
Sure,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but like the fact that they weren't aware about the fact that we were all speculating about Mephisto for years.
Could it be fun? Like, would it be more interesting if like he showed up at the end of the season, or if this was just them throwing another little thing?
Apparently they've cast Sacha Baron Cohen
for Ironheart,
or whatever. Apparently they've cast him as Mephisto or something like that. This is what people are saying. Speculations. My Time to Shine. Hello, Daniel RPK-esque universe stuff that's going on.
You're locked in.
Locked in.
Damn.
But did you just look that up?
No, I'm seeing what if it was more like heavy rumors.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't repeat a rumor as if it's fact. I'm saying that these are things.
Yeah.
You would think that if they were going to bring him into the universe, this is kind of shit to get off the pot time right now with.
If you said his name and we've been doing this for years.
They brought up Nikki Scratch, who was, of course, the son of Agatha Harkness, that she is traded for the goddamn book. And who in the comics is an agent of Mephisto.
Yes.
Mephisto's acolyte. So you would think that if they were going to do this would be the time that they would do it to broaden it. Because you know what Marvel has to stop doing? A lot of stuff. You know one thing that they specifically have to stop doing? They have to stop teasing shit. Give up the shit.
Right,
They're like teasing shit to the next show and kicking the narrative can down the road.
Yeah.
Give up the schnapps.
I mean, hell, half of the post-credit scenes in all of Phase 4, we could say that for too.
Bro, I have this tweet in my drafts, but remember Thor Love and Thunder when Hercules came out?
Oh yeah, we're not going to see that.
It was like, oh, it's the dude from Ted Lasso. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Is the next Thor movie not with Hercules?
Are they making a next Thor movie?
Oh, they'll do another one.
I mean, people were talking about.
Are we getting Harry Styles back?
So,
are we getting Pip the Troll back?
There's a lot of stuff going on. You know what I mean? Try it, everybody.
What are you doing?
I don't know who I was talking to for a second.
See, because we had a thing.
Thanks, Steve.
I appreciate fucking it. Pact. He opted out.
You're opted out.
You're absolutely right.
He chose.
You're absolutely right.
He chose.
He made the choice.
You ever see Indiana Jones?
Don't look at it, Marion.
No. Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah, okay.
I fuck with you because you got different ones. I didn't think of that one. This is good too.
Because I can't look at the ghosts.
Remember all of the fucking cups?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And he had to choose which cup. And what happens if you drink the wrong cup?
Skeleton.
Don't drink the wrong cup. Okay. Like he chose
wisely. Made your choice.
Made your choice.
What's
some other good people that have made choices and the choices didn't go right?
Choices didn't go right.
Just think about this.
My choice is going great though.
It's going.
Hey,
See, now that's another choice. That was
guys can't help
it. That's a strike. That's a strike. No,
y'all can't help it.
Actually, the person that can't help it is the person that's not supposed to be talking because he wanted to opt out.
That's right. That's right.
Participate. You opted out. This is what happens. All you players out there in the NCAA.
Ben Alexander, we're talking to you.
You can make money now. You can't unred shirt. If you opt out, You out. You can't say I don't want to play in the bowl game, and then in the second quarter go, coach, let me go out and run a 9 route. Let me run a 9 route. You out. You're not playing in the bowl. Okay, let's move on. So, we talked a little bit about what the show has to do.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the interesting thing about Agatha. It's a low leverage show.
The stakes don't feel that high.
Yeah.
And as long as it knows that it's one, the show will be successful.
Yeah.
I agree.
But also, I think this is kind of and I say our, like the collective us, like fandom's fault for making too many high leverage situations when it comes to the next Marvel thing.
Interesting.
I disagree.
All right. But here's what I'll say. Let me finish the thought.
Yeah.
Like to think that Agatha needs to be anything other than a fun, spooky time in October.
Yeah.
I think that that's fine.
I mean, I agree with that point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, all the shows, they're like, hey, man, the world's in danger. You know?
The world is changing.
The world is this and that. And it's like, brother, man, like, if the world's in danger, call Iron Man, or Iron Man's dead.
Yeah.
But call Captain America. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to get
Captain
my purple
America's
back.
not around.
call, like, literally.
The wind is crazy in here.
I'm hearing voices.
The AC is nuts.
God.
We each have a strike now.
Spooky.
You guys.
You can't even look at him?
Bro, we're like, no.
You guys can't help
We
it.
each have a strike now. Guys, we
Right.
got to stay strong.
Okay, all right.
This is not what the podcast was built on. We feel like we need him. But at the same time, we feel like we resist the urge, man.
Yeah. We're looking at our phones like, don't call him.
God damn it.
Don't call him.
I can't quit you.
But yeah, like the shows and I mean the movies do it. I think the movies have to be like that kind of everything's ending. But the shows always present themselves as like, if we don't do this, the world's gonna end. It's like, guys, y'all can just have like a problem y'all need to solve. Like it's really not that big a deal. I think Hawkeye did a pretty good job to be like, it's them,
Sure.
the tracksuit mafia. That's it. And the show continues like we're just witches down the road trying to see what's at the end of the rainbow. I think that's a good plot that doesn't take too much of our brains to be like, how does this work into this and that? It just tells a single story. I think that would be successful.
Steve?
I would agree. And I think that, again, when the MCU has kind of just been made this tapestry of like all these interconnected things and elements, and the one big major thread of this being the sequel series to WandaVision, and kind of stopping it there and then having fun winks and nods to things within its own hemisphere of being like, hey, this could have been an agent of Mephisto. Nobody really knows who her kid is. It could be this, it could be that. And there's all these allusions to what these things in the comic books were, while not actually leveraging any sort of like prerequisite knowledge on behalf of the audience or anybody knowing what like some other witch's like bad origin with a vision of a ghost from their past might be. Or it's just a fun, spooky thing that we just saw and it's like everybody's tripping out because they drank the poison. That's a good narrative conceit for Marvel to have while still paying homage to a lot of Marvel canon.
Yeah. So, both good points. You guys ever see The Last Dragon? See that?
Yeah.
No.
The Last Dragon?
Mhm.
I know you like it. So, The Last Dragon is about a guy named Bruce Leroy.
Yeah.
It's in Harlem. Okay, his family owns
I've heard about this.
a
Heard about it, never seen it. Sorry.
Y'all are doing great.
Please continue.
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it. I've heard about
Y'all
Bruce
are
Leroy,
doing
for sure.
great
No,
today.
this is a great podcast.
He wears the yellow tracksuit.
Okay. What?
Did you?
I was just talking to myself.
Okay. I was
Oh!
okay, sure.
I was just-
You were just
I
talking
was
to
making
yourself.
sure. I was
just
making
talking
sure.
to myself.
Let's make
It's a
sure.
great
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm basically like Arthur Fleck right
Okay,
now.
yeah,
I'm hearing
just-
stuff, but I don't know what's real.
Right.
You
You
know
don't
what I
know.
mean?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know what's real.
Oh my gosh. Is Zazie Beetz here in the room with us?
There could be a light-skinned agitator.
Wow,
somewhere.
if somebody turned
Agitator.
if Charles turned into Zazie Beetz one day,
If who?
would we be mad?
Oh,
Who? I don't know who.
Who?
I don't know who I said.
Who?
Oh my
Wait, no,
gosh.
actually, can we edit that so that like my mouth turns
Do the
into
mouth
the
thing.
wicked?
Yeah, the
Do the
sigil.
mouth thing.
The
Do
sigil.
Put
Yeah.
the sigil.
Put the sigil on me.
We need a witch to come in here and bind us.
Wait,
so-
whoa.
So
Christ.
so in The Last Dragon, Bruce Leroy is a okay. By the way, when you know what I'm saying, when I give the plot, the premise for Last Dragon, though people don't think that it's ridiculous. It makes a lot of sense. It's a Motown movie produced by Barry Gordy. Vanity's in the film. Ernie Reyes Jr. is in the film. It's about a guy who is in Harlem and he's training kung fu. And he's Bruce Leroy. Okay, not okay, probably, but he's Bruce Leroy, and it's martial arts in Harlem and all of that stuff. My point about The Last Dragon is this. At the end of The Last Dragon, spoiler alert, he achieves the final level.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the golden glow.
Mm.
That story works, not because Bruce Leroy had to save all of New York, or because he had to save all of Harlem, or because he had to save all of the world. It's because there was something mythical and magical that there was a value was created for early on in the movie. And at the lowest moment in the character's development in the movie, he achieves that.
Mm.
And when you see him realize what it takes to achieve that thing, you're in. He didn't have to save the world. He didn't even have to say, all he had to do was win a fight and achieve the thing and know that he is the master. And still, when he kind of gets to it and he understands that like that's his purpose, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the superhero storytelling veers away from the singular narrative goal of one character. It thinks that in order for it to be big, you have to save the universe, you have to save the galaxy, you have to save the United States. No, you can start a narrative with one character, bring us along on a journey, and see if we care about what it is that they want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of times I think the reason why they do that is because that's a little bit more advanced storytelling and you have to make people care. I'm not going to say that The Last Dragon is the best script in the world. I'm saying at the end of The Last Dragon, when Shonuff is asking Leroy who's the master, and Leroy catches his fist and says, I am, everybody stands on their feet when he gets the golden glow. And that's like the type of thing that they need to get back to. If this show can accomplish that, it'll be fine.
And we see small hints of that because, like, the arc of Agatha seems pretty simple because she's like a loner. She doesn't like cooperating with people. She sucks. But you clearly start to see the early seeds of her first deceit and then what would eventually turn into what we would hope, at least if we would want to care about this character, or maybe not, about that turning. Like, she doesn't want to drink the poison. She drinks it later than everybody else because she gets caught by everybody else. It's like, you didn't drink it. You didn't drink it with us. Like, fuck you. We're all in this together.
She stops Teen from drinking it.
Exactly.
Right? And then she gives the pep talk to Jennifer. And even though she complains about it, she does help take Sharon's body out of the
Exactly.
out of the house,
so you see small hints of that.
Why does she care about Teen? We all know that Teen is fucking Wiccan and all of that stuff like that. What we don't know is why she's so reckless with everybody else's safety, but not with his.
Well, I think it's kind of there's an interesting like balance of plausible deniability with who she thinks he is versus who she might know who he is. Because the idea that when she has this vision and she looks in the crib and she has
this what?
What? This vision.
Oh. It happened on accident.
Yeah.
That's
Wiccan's
dad.
And when she has like the Rosemary Baby thing where like she looks in the crib and it's horrifying, she doesn't know what, like, she can't see it.
Yeah.
Does she know that that's her child and that's what teen might be? Like, does she know that? Did she know that this was a deal that she made with either Mephisto or whatever evil agency of the thing that she had to give up in order to have this power? She's reckoning with the idea that she had...
It seems as if there's some trauma there, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Or whether or not she knew the actual cost of that. She's facing that. That's
whether or not Mephisto tricked her.
Yes.
There you go. That's actually... Well, I mean, I say there you go. I mean, there you go, and that's awesome because I hadn't thought of that.
Right.
Saying, there you go. There you go.
But that's breadcrumbed for us.
Right.
As we can see. But like the idea that she might not actually know that that could be her child or somebody even remotely important to her because of that sacrifice is interesting.
The rest of the world might think that she gave up the child willingly.
Right.
However, she might have been tricked into doing it in some way because we know that the devil is a liar.
I think what could be interesting is that maybe they play to that, right? And Agatha at some point is like, hey, I think you might be the son I gave up. And he's actually like, no, that's not what actually happened. You know what I mean? And because she really like cares about him. So maybe they're playing that against us because we're like, that's Teen, that's Billy. And then going forward, maybe there's something that we could like. Maybe it's not him.
Maybe it's Nikki. Maybe it's Nikki in some way.
You know what I mean?
Maybe she put the spell on him.
Maybe
she put the spell on him to not be able. Maybe some kind of different situation is involved, she knows.
Because we're all like, that's Billy Kaplan, that's Wiccan. We're so sure of that maybe the show is trying to like steer us
a bait and
a different way.
switch.
Yeah, exactly. Trying its best to be like, no, it's not Billy.
I will say this: Marvel is not good at tricking us. What I mean by we're better at tricking ourselves than Marvel is in making us go, hey, the aerospace engineer is Reed Richards.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
No,
boy.
it's not.
What
That was
Sharon Carter-
y'all.
We played
though.
ourselves with
Sharon
that.
Carter
No,
is
that
the-
was y'all.
Who is the power broker? Who is the power broker? Is the power broker Agent Coulson? Is the power? No, it's fucking Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter,
It was
scroll, by the way.
power bro throughout the whole thing.
Had to be
so,
the scroll.
So normally we read more into it, and they normally take the safe path in the storytelling in terms of whatever.
Which is fine, but like ultimately those things need to be rewarding, and almost all of the times that they have tried that, it hasn't worked out.
Well, yeah,
because it's like, okay, oh, ta-da, it's Sharon Carter. It's not the fact that that can't be impactful. It's the fact that they didn't make it impactful. So if we know why Billy is either Wiccan or whomever, this person needs to be, like, what actually matters is why he is who he is. Like how that happened and why we should care. That's all that is the most important about that. Not the fact that he is why is he?
I had a dream one night,
Oh boy.
and in my dream, the power broker was Howard Stark.
Like alive, like a 95-year-old decrepit Howard Stark.
Was he like Cyborg?
So this is what happened. In the dream, what's his name? Fucked up mom, rest in peace, Mama Stark.
Yeah.
And then he fucked up Howard, but Howard was still alive. And on the way, he broke one of the vials of one of the
Super
soldier serum?
leaked out, and he got the serum.
Oh
and
shit.
then he took it, and then that kept him alive. He had to go away, and it's like getting all crazy. He was in the
So there was So there was a second briefcase in the back of that trunk
Well,
that
there
he
was
were carrying.
it was like whatever.
That's the second
And then he
briefcase.
tore in there, he took it,
It was a
and then
second
he was
briefcase
all
in the
fucked
catalog.
up, right? He was all
Yeah.
scarred, and then some people in the woods, they took him in and all of that stuff, and it took
Took
him a
him
while.
in.
And then he was getting back, and he wanted revenge. And so at the end, the power broker becomes Howard Stark. I dreamt about this.
It's a bad
And I'm
dream.
thinking
That would have been riveting.
it would have been infinitely better if the power broker was Howard Stark.
It'll be anybody.
based on the
Literally
story you
anybody.
just told, yes.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, this Howard, it's like, because I'm also thinking about Game of Thrones. There's one
Oh boy.
there's one Blackfire that has a head growing out of his neck because he killed his brother in the womb. And that's basically my Howard Stark. Like, it would be all fucked up. He's like, oh my God, I gotta get fucking Bucky back. And then he becomes
Van, you
the
should
power-
really see a movie called The Substance that's out right now.
I don't want to see
my
it.
God.
And by the
You
way,
should see
you're
that.
not gonna trick me to go see that.
I'm seeing it on Friday.
A bunch of
You
people,
are?
Yeah.
a bunch
Oh,
of people
man,
have
you're-
tried to get me to go see it. I'm not going to see it.
I don't know what it's about, but I'm.
You don't know what it's about? Good.
No, I have no
don't.
idea what it's
I'll tell you what I
about.
am seeing, though.
Don't anybody tell Jomi what The Substance about. Jomi, just see it and call me when you finish it.
I tell you what I am seeing, and everybody's invited to come see it with me. I'm going to see Terrifier 3 pretty soon. I'm very
Yeah,
excited
baby.
about it. Art the Clown.
Is
yeah.
that
Terrifier's awesome.
is it a horror?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
so
out.
look. The whole episode is based around the trial of them trying to figure out how to make the potion and escape the house to continue their journey on the road.
Yep.
I think that what I'm going to judge Agatha on is whether or not the episodes are successful or unsuccessful. This was a successful episode of television.
Yeah.
I was never bored. I was into it. I laughed a little bit, and I bought the story. It's good. It's not going to reinvent the wheel. It's not going to change the world. It's a good episode of TV with some good performances and some good fucking fun.
Yeah. Great
And
acting too.
I would
Great
kill
acting,
for that
too.
kitchen too.
That's a bro. That entire house. I
That's
was
a
like,
crazy kitchen.
It's got to go crazy on what's it called, Zillow. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
no, they Airbnb that thing. You read that shit out,
$3 billion.
too.
You can't do Airbnb anymore.
Really?
Where? Ever?
You shouldn't do it anymore.
Oh, you should.
I never
you
did.
should.
Because when
but-
you do Airbnb, there's some old white guy in his attic with cameras on you, watching you and
Oh
taping
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
and then uploading it to the dark web, silkroad.com, and people are looking at you doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You can't use Airbnb. I saw this one video where this dude opened up a false door and they didn't realize that he was still there. and he was
What?
walking out of. I swear,
Jesus.
Damn.
Airbnb, you
Christ.
can't do it. Hotel better than Airbnb.
It's
anyway.
always been. It's always been. I
At
never.
first, Airbnb was kind of lit.
I mean, I'm not out there.
But then, like Airbnb,
Like it's like when Uber first dropped.
Airbnb started hitting you with the fucking cleaning fees, $1,000.
Ugh.
I have to pay in order to not clean something? I have to clean the
Brother,
thing?
man,
No.
it's not.
Like that's what hotels are for.
You know what? We should do an episode, Midnight Grievances, where we should just do a whole episode
Of our beefs with
where
stuff.
everybody just comes in and we just do grievances. I want to get some things off of my chest. I got grievances and I want to talk about them with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Arjuna, Midnight Grievances, what do you think?
Do it around Thanksgiving.
Do it around.
What we're not thankful
We
for.
talk about, other people talk about what they're thankful for,
Well, we gotta.
but we talk about some midnight grievances.
I'm very not
y'all
thankful
can
for
be
this.
negative, but I can't. Okay.
Man, I wish Charles was here for
Man,
this.
bro, it's
You'd be
crazy.
really good at that part.
Man.
It's
All right.
so weird, bro. It's like it's
all right.
we miss his we miss him.
I miss him.
Yeah.
Man, he was a real one.
He was. And the thing that I liked about him was that
We're doing a funeral right now? Are we doing a eulogy?
all right, that's enough of Agatha. Charles Holmes is now opted into the podcast.
Yeah, he's clocked in. He's clocked in.
Like we have to, and now Charles, you're gonna carry this last fucking segment, you bitch, you. And so why? And so we're going to do a reversibles.
Reversibles?
Reversibles? What's a
I'll tell you
reversible?
something right now. If I was the rewatchables, I would sue. We're going to talk about
The reversible.
The reversible.
Joker movie on the heels of the Joker Foley Ledoux. What,
The
what-
Foley
No, that's the name of
what?
the movie. That's the name.
No,
he nailed
I
it.
don't-
He nailed it.
I'm
First
not
what's it
drop.
called?
Folly
Foley
Adieu.
Foley Ado?
I'm not calling
Yeah.
it that.
Joker 2, Foley Ado?
Yeah.
Terrifying. Like,
No,
like,
Masterpiece.
like terrifying.
No.
Okay.
God.
Spoiler warning for the Joker, and really not for DC because this movie has nothing to do with anything like Batman.
Whoa. Hold on. Baby Bruce Wayne is in this. Let's be real.
That's true. But spoiler warning for all of that stuff now. We're getting ready to talk about
Agatha All Along.
You're listening to a reaction podcast. The spoilers are coming. All right, that's enough. Charles, you love this movie.
Whoa. Let's not say love. I like this movie.
Yeah, you like it. Tell us why.
Really? All right. I listen to you motherfuckers carry water for the MCU for 45
You're not
minutes,
allowed
and
to
I
talk
can't
about
like
that. You're not allowed to
Joker.
talk about
You
that.
weren't here.
Carry
You
water
weren't
is
here.
crazy.
No. You weren't there. Whoa.
Carry water is
whoa,
crazy.
No, I'm
Wait,
opted
wait,
in.
wait, wait,
I'm
wait.
opted in now.
You can't opt
You
in
can't
now.
opt in.
I'm opted in.
Nah,
This is
no,
me
that's
opted
not.
in.
It
This is the
doesn't work
problem.
it like that.
You can't
No.
stick to your own shit.
You can't do
You
that.
said
I
you
did
didn't
not-
want to.
you guys told me to opt
You
out.
said you didn't want to talk about Agatha. No, stick to your shit. Now, what do you think about the Joker?
Guys, this is a masterpiece. This is a fucking masterpiece.
Okay. A lot of people feel that way, by the way.
Well, I'm
That's
not.
so not. Okay.
Here's the thing.
You guys are acting like a lot of people like the movie, bro.
Yeah, no, they do.
All right, here's the thing. This is simultaneously the dumbest movie I've ever seen.
That's it. That's
It's
it.
the
It's just
greatest
dumb.
movie I've
It's
ever
just
seen.
dumb.
Why? Why? No. Okay.
Dog, all right, come on. Every single time shit starts going left, he just starts grooving. I'm like, what's wrong with this nigga? Dog, when he kills the fat dude, and then his little friend, he's like,
I gotta reach the door.
Yeah.
and I was just like, dog, don't kill him. Don't kill my love. He was the only one who was nice to the Joker. He's the only one nice to Arthur. Y'all didn't laugh. This movie is so
You're saying it like it was like Tobey Maguire dancing in Spider-Man 3, which is
To
actually
me-
funny.
To
Like,
me,
no.
I'm sorry. Here's the thing. When I was watching the movie, I was like, fuck this movie, this incel ass movie. But when Arthur's getting his ass beat by the little kids in the first 5 minutes, I was like, this is quite literally.
I'll give the movie this.
Hilarious.
If we're talking about scenes that made us laugh, when he drops the gun at the hospital,
Go-
that's funny.
Yeah, that's
Bro.
funny.
That's funny. That's funny.
You know how I know I'm a fucked up person? My criticisms of the Joker movie don't really have anything to do with the cultural overtones or undertones in the movie and what it means
Mhm.
to grievance culture or anything like that. It's just to me, the movie is a movie masquerading as something else.
Yeah.
But
Masquerading as what?
so obviously, we all know that like they didn't really want to make a Joker movie. They wanted to make this movie about a man descending into madness.
Yeah.
And they wrapped it in the bow of this is how the Joker becomes the Joker, which is going to make fans of Batman and the Batman lore go out to see the movie. And then if they give you anything that resembles that, you're going to be, okay, cool, right?
Yeah.
But it's not really has nothing to do with the Joker or any of that stuff, right? It's not really the character or anything. But the movie in and of itself, just about a dude that for whatever reason has delusions of grandeur or wants something more and it drives him crazy. It didn't offend me like it offended other
So
people.
it offended me, not in like the woke sense, like in the sense of they didn't want to make a Joker movie, right? So they make Arthur do all this stuff. But then they have the audacity. It's not a superhero movie. They're like, it's not a superhero. It's a journey about a man. Then they have the audacity not only put Bruce Wayne, the Waynes in it. We see the scene where the pearls fall. And I'm like, guys, come on, bro.
They take
Like,
Crime
I gotta
Alley.
see it
they
again.
take it Crime Alley, like, dude, like
I gotta
this
see
is-
it again.
All the talk is like, nah, man, this is a different thing. That's not it. And I'm here watching Batman's Paradise. Let's be serious. Like, let's be for
Yeah.
real.
Well, I mean, look, my thing is this. It's like, that's a part of the grift. That's my real problem with the movie. The one, we've talked about this before, the one scene in Batman lore that we don't need to see again is what happened in Crime Alley. We don't
Yeah,
really
we
need
don't
to see
never
that
need to
again.
see that again.
However, building this entire narrative of this entire movie about this guy who inspires all of this lawlessness, and then that being the reason that Thomas and Martha Wayne get killed, that is the catnip that people leave the theater still kind of attracted to, that makes you feel like you just watched a Batman movie.
So
Yeah,
can I ask this though, and not to bring up last episode, but I am interested in, obviously this is separate from the Matt Reeves verse. To me, what is the difference really between something like the Joker or the Penguin? Because I think they actually are very similar and say a lot about what Hollywood is right now, which is this is essentially, what if the Joker was in Taxi Driver or The King of Comedy, and the Penguin is like, hey, what if Oswald Cobblepot was Tony Soprano? And I just and
Yeah.
sometimes I think it's like
I'll
all kind of a similar thing.
I'll give you my response to that. One deepens the world, and the other one is tangential to it. So when we know who the Penguin is, and we are watching the story of the Penguin, and we're looking at someone who eventually has to be one of Batman's arch nemesis. The Batman world that we got in the other movie, to me, wasn't that deep. It was a different world, and we understood it, but we didn't get into the weeds and the ins and outs of it. And it kind of almost didn't feel Batman-y enough. This show, if it accomplishes its goal, will have deepened that world, made us understand the criminal organisms that exist in that world, what's expected of those guys, the consequences of that, and everything. And it'll pull like that movie and make it a deeper bucket. This one doesn't have to do with anything. There's no world to it. There's nothing to it, right? And what they're doing is taking a lore that's very deep and injecting it into something that's really a story of one guy. And it's in bad faith to do that if, in fact, there's no connectivity between those two things. To me, as long as everything is connected, you can say, watch the story of this guy in this world. There's a different world we're giving you, and the rules and the parameters of that world are really going to be set by this show even more than a Batman movie, because we have 8 hours. This isn't doing that. And it's cool. What this is saying is, hey, all of the stuff that you've ingested for 30 or some odd years, imagine it this way, and then you watch it, and there's nothing more to it than the one-off singular story. So I would say if you do a spinoff about a character, give me some lore.
But here's the reason why I push back on that is like, if I'm not trolling right now. Like, I actually do think that there are things about the Joker that are actually harmful, that are a little bit like, all right, fuck this movie. But if we're going to get a villain-centric movie, I do prefer Joaquin Phoenix really, truly doing something transformational. Did he deserve the Oscar? I don't know. But I don't necessarily know if I need the Joker lore to tell me something deeper about Batman, because at this point, it's like we've gotten so many Jokers that I'm just like, they wanted to tell this singular story. Is some of it very dumb?
But
A lot of
not,
it.
but the only problem, my bad, Steve. Just
No.
one thing. The only problem is it's not the Joker.
So let's have that conversation. I think that this is a great depiction of the Joker.
Yeah, okay. Well,
What makes
first of all,
what makes the Joker Joker? Oh,
but let me let before I suck up all the
You're good,
oxygen. Ooh, Danny. Let me let Steve and Jomi jump in there before.
It's off of what you guys said. Like I think the thing that the movie did right is the patchwork framework of what you can do to a character and IP that is actually stripped away with a lot of the things that make that character's surrounding environment part of them. If you make a Joker movie that takes away Batman, most of the city of Gotham, and just puts him in a situation with regular everyday people and like make it a more or less an origin story, what can you actually say about a character when it's just the character? That is interesting, but to me it fails at every single type of way that you can execute that. Because at every turn that makes it a character that is either an outright bummer to see or despicable and bad faith in the way that it's executed on the screen. I think the way that can be made in a way that's effective is when you actually have an understanding of the character that actually people don't have that many iterations on. We've had like 4 people play the Joker before Joaquin Phoenix had his at-bat. And then by the time we see this, there's nothing that we could actually recognize that's around him that's like, well, what else is the Joker other than just a lonely guy that had a couple of bad days? And that is the ethos that actually works with the Joker, because the idea that this movie is that one line from The Killing Joke is like when Joker's saying to the Batman, oh, you're just one bad day away from being me. And then that's kind of what this movie thinks it's doing, but it's not doing anything that's remotely smart when it comes to executing that. And I think to what makes the Joker is really being the mirror against which every other person weighs and judge their morals.
It's not that he's crazy. It's that he wants you to be crazy.
Yeah.
It's not the Joker himself being off is not what makes him the Joker. What makes the Joker is he's trying to convince you. He thinks he's sane and you're crazy for going along with those rules. So he'll poison the water supply to make people turn on each other. He'll put a bomb on each boat to make people turn on each other. It's not that he's on his own just going through something. That's not what makes him what he is, because there are a lot of other people that are like that. What makes him him is that he has a foil and he has somebody else that represents order, and he's trying to pull it apart at the shreds. And if he's not doing that, he ain't the Joker.
All right, whoa.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. Isn't that the failing of most of these villain-centric movies?
Yes.
Here's the thing. I have to take the Joker on the thing where I'm just like, if Batman's not showing up in this movie, there's only so much it can do, because I do think fundamentally, I agree with you. You understand the Joker better because he is the thing that Batman isn't. Like, to your point, it's always like you're one bad day away from being me. Similar to like the Venom movies. The Venom movies only ever make so much sense because at his heart, Venom is the opposite of Spider-Man. Like visually, he was created as the opposite of Spider-Man. Now, the thing that I actually think that the Joker, I don't know, I think they kind of trip into this, is that I think it is a very, very effective origin story for him. Because when you take away the Red Hood of it all, the comic book accurate, he falls into a vat, Batman's there, you're just like, oh, he became the Joker because Gotham was actually the villain. The city, the infrastructure, the government, the Waynes failed Arthur Fleck and his mother. The system failed him. And seeing a Joker basically be driven mad because he can't get his meds, he can't, they're shutting down the therapist the
Social
social worker
services,
that speaks with him. His job treats him like a freak. That to me was the most interesting part of this, where I was just like,
fantastic. You're absolutely right. That was the hook that got me on the movie. You're right, except he never becomes the Joker, right? So
what do you mean?
So
he
he just doesn't become. So all of that stuff was the stuff like, oh my God, we're gonna see now how, because you expect to get some more complexity.
Yeah.
Let's say we told the story of this unbelievably force-sensitive guy in the galaxy who comes from a noble house, and he kills his parents and he does all of this stuff. He gives himself up to the dark side and he just goes around the galaxy having adventures, and his name is Sheev Palpatine. He has to, at some point, take over the galaxy. Like, the whole thrust of the story is around the fact that everything that happened to him led him to act in a way that is then a narrative engine for other happenings. If you just put somebody out there and it's a different way, it's fascinating and it can be good as far as how good it is, but you can tell that story with anyone, right? Why would you do it with a character whose main utility in our story is to make our hero spring to action? Like, why would you? It doesn't make any sense. It's a different character. So everything that you're talking about right now with the joke, and that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Everything that you're talking about right now with that movie is true. And that's what you thought it was going to be. What you thought it was going to be was like, oh my God, the city that he's trying to fuck over is what created him, except Todd Phillips and everybody else says that this Joker is not going to become a Joker that has any grander designs for Gotham, that has anything more to say or more to do. It's just a guy that's going crazy in Gotham.
But I think
paints
that's
his
true
face.
to the Joker, because I think the thing that has made the Joker so malleable over time is that the Joker isn't always the villain that just wants to do the kooky scheme to get to Batman.
That's not true.
Yeah, but he has to fight. He
He's
has
gotta
to fight
scheme
Batman.
something.
No, well, I'm not even talking about Batman. The Joker sometimes does what he does. Like when the Joker, like we've already mentioned this, when the Joker tricked Superman into killing Lois Lane,
Yeah.
that had nothing to do with Batman. He just wants to take what you think you are and make you believe and make you into something else. He wants to convince you that you are him. He has a point of view. This Joker has no point of view.
But here's the
He
thing.
says, I don't care about
Batman,
anything.
Yeah.
Batman's not showing up in this movie. They're like, when I walked into this movie, I'm just like, that's
Batman's 8 years old.
I'm
That's
just
cool.
I'm just not gonna be in here.
I get
So
it.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, at a certain point, I have to be like, that is, I still think that this is a version of the Joker, because I think when the character works best, it is a character about chaos. So Joker, especially in the comics, Joker can be a serial killer. Joker can be a more traditional circus clown.
But again, that's only when it's weighed against another person. That, like, I think that's only.
But here's the thing. Once again, how you can say that quite literally about most of the late stage superhero IP,
And that's why they stink, right? Like, I don't like the Venom stuff. I don't like this movie, mainly because, and I think this is why Penguin is different, is because, so for Oz in the Penguin, he's a bad person surrounded by other bad people, right? Like, he's the hero of a story because we're watching it from his point of view, and we know that, like, he's a bad person doing bad things with bad people, right? For, like, Venom and the Joker, they're like the hero, but like actually like, hey man, we gotta Eddie, we have to save these people's lives. Like, bro, that's not what Venom is doing. We're supposed to feel bad for the Joker. So he murders 3 people on the train, murders his mom, kills a dude in his house, shoots Murray on the TV thing. We're supposed to feel bad for him. For why? You know what I mean?
But here's the thing.
Like,
so this is why I feel like y'all are shooting, and we'll just stay on Penguin Bale. We don't give a fuck about the Penguin in the same way that we give a fuck about Joker and Venom, because those characters, because we have such an emotional attachment to them, they have so many iconic runs or iconic moments in the comic book. A lot of times they're in amber, especially in movies and TV. We're like, motherfucker, if the Joker's there, we want to see some Batman. If Venom's there, we want to see Spider-Man. And that's why I think it's like the Craven movie. I'm not excited for the Craven movie because I'm just like, why the fuck should I give a fuck about Craven if Spider-Man's not there? But also, if they fuck up the Craven movie, I'm just like, who cares? It's a Craven movie.
So the way I look at that is this. I don't even need Spider-Man to be there in the movie. I don't need it, right? As long as the character is true to itself, right? If Venom would have been some guy that invented a symbiote suit, I would have been like, why are we doing this? If Venom would have been if Venom would have taken place on another planet, which actually might not be that bad. Maybe you go to the planet. If Venom would have been fundamentally a different character, but packaged in a Venom way.
Yeah.
Let's say that in the Venom movie, the symbiote doesn't really exist, and he's imagining it all.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're really selling us is a movie about a guy who's descending into like craziness, but believing it's because there's an alien symbiote inside of his body. I would say, take your fucking guy descending into crazy movie, get Daniel Day-Lewis, and go make your fucking movie. But if you wrap it up in a Venom movie, then he's gotta get super big and black, and he's gotta rip people apart because that's what Venom fucking does.
Do you
right?
remember?
So if he's gotta do
But
all of the stuff.
what un-Joker like stuff does he do in the movie?
He doesn't fucking try to. He don't do shit.
Whoa,
You gotta
here's the
try-
thing,
he
like,
doesn't
what are we
scheme
talking-
shit. He
Like,
doesn't rob
he
anybody. He
scheme
doesn't.
shit. He ain't trying to do shit.
So the only type of Joker that is the Joker is the Joker's like, Batman.
A little bit.
But I'm telling you straight up, I'm telling you straight up
Why
right
so
now,
serious?
the Joker goes crazy, but the real reason why the Joker is the Joker is because he is a criminal weapon of mass destruction. It's not because
That's not always true, though.
it is mostly
No.
true. I mean, there
In the comic,
in
here's
the
the thing.
comics, sometimes the Joker has done one-offs, things like that.
Yeah.
But you don't worry about the Joker because he's going to run up on somebody and kill an individual person. You worry because when he's out, the entire city of Gotham, the whole eastern seaboard is in danger. He about to put fucking chemicals in the makeup, and people gonna be on TV
whoa.
not looking good because they're afraid to use the makeup because the makeup will make you smile and go
I
crazy.
can't believe you
Catwoman
guys are
literally
being
did that in
this
the Adam West
rigid.
one.
I'm not being rigid.
This is a very rigid way. Here's the thing. He has the Joker makeup, all right?
Yeah.
He
Oh my
doesn't
God.
believe in
This is-
anything,
Uh-huh.
okay?
But the Joker does believe in something. The Joker I'm talking about, he definitely does believe in something. Bruh, in The Dark Knight, the Joker took an entire fucking time to tell you what he believes in.
Yeah.
It's not part of the plan. He does have beliefs. He has a very specific worldview. He looks at the world in a very specific way. It's a way he's criminally insane, but he has.
All right, well, if I put on my comic historian cap,
Charles
I would
Explainer?
say
By the way,
Joker.
rest in peace to Benny from Comic Story, man. Rest in peace to Benny.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Benny, man. It was very
Damn.
tough.
Yeah.
Tough for the
I think
great guy.
because I would agree. Joker does have beliefs, but I do think that they are always cast opposite of Batman. And because it's like you have to think about whatever Batman was in whatever century, whether it was like in the 60s and he's very campy or whatever, versus like the 80s, very like rich 90s militant muscle. You get a different Joker that can be the best foil to that Batman. And I would agree that the failing of this movie is like Batman's a little kid. So when Joker goes to Bruce Wayne's house and is harassing fucking Alfred, you don't feel anything for Joker because you're like,
You kind of do because he thinks that Thomas Wayne is his father.
Right.
no, I mean, you don't.
Even that whole thing, like that to me,
You feel like he's a creep. Like
I
in
know,
that
he's
moment,
a
you're
creep.
like,
I know, but
Yeah.
even that whole thing, right? I'm thinking that what that's going to mean, I was trying to do the math, but I'm thinking what that's going to mean is that the reason why Joker is obsessed with Batman this entire time is because he thinks that Batman is his brother.
I was so glad they didn't do that. If they did that, I literally would have been like,
That's interesting.
It's better than what
no,
they gave us. I'll tell you that.
what?
I don't
It's better
know.
than what they gave
no,
us.
I don't know what you could do because like I truly
Stakes.
don't think if they leaned into that, I don't know if that would make it more.
Y'all
or less
would be
also,
roasting
I
this
don't know. I
movie.
truly
Well,
don't.
It also doesn't make sense because like Arthur's like old as hell and Bruce is like 8. So when he becomes Batman, he's gonna be in a freaking wheelchair.
Right.
So it doesn't make any sense.
It just depends. Look, it is very true. But look, all I'm saying is the Penguin thing is this. The Penguin is, we already saw this Penguin, right? We saw him, and when we saw Batman with this Penguin, we were like, okay, so this guy is the Penguin. He's a different Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
And what we learned is that he's not all the way Penguin-y yet. The Penguin that we understand is the leader of the Red Triangle Gang and like all of this different stuff. He's not quite that guy yet, which is actually interesting because our Batman, to be honest with you, at the beginning of that movie, wasn't quite Batman yet. And so he wasn't.
This Joker isn't quite Joker.
But he never will be.
He never. Oh, so
And Todd Phillips has already told us that. That's the thing.
So, and maybe this is like a bigger conversation, but Todd Phillips has said like he doesn't want to do the whole like Joker Batman thing. And then somebody around like the Batman, I want to say maybe Matt Reeves, somebody around there, says something about like how they want to tone down, like they don't want to go all too crazy in the Batman universe with all like the magic.
The fantastical.
They want to keep it very rigid. What is with people in Batman not letting it be nuts anymore, right? Because I mean, we got Ra's al Ghul in like Christopher Nolan's like way back when they were making like.
Frankly, I wanted to see
movies.
Christopher Nolan's Ra's al Ghul go into a pile of green goo and come out younger. I wanted to see that, and he didn't.
Because I've seen this argument with all these comic book fans being like, why don't the directors want this to be more comic book accurate? Why are they so afraid? Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, guys, we've seen the last couple of years. Like, we see what happens when they get a little bit too much dip on their chip. Shit gets wild and crazy.
I think Mr. Joel Schumacher made a pretty comic book accurate Batman and Robin. Thank you very much.
I mean, I would agree.
It wasn't comic book accurate at all.
I think it was.
No,
I think it
wasn't.
actually was.
You talking about Batman and Robin, that movie?
Yes.
Oh, that was not a real depiction.
You're telling me that's not like exactly out of like a 1970s comic book?
Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
That movie came out in like fucking 1996 or 97.
Yeah.
The Batman that they were giving you was literally a Batman that hadn't really been in the comic books for 30 years.
I know.
So that's what fans are asking for now.
No, they're not. Maybe I'm misunderstanding you guys. What I'm saying is he came out there and he had Batman and Robin playing hockey with a diamond and all of that. Batman had
I love that shit.
Since the 60s, since Adam West.
I know, yeah.
Batman,
Yeah, and
Sometimes
I
you can't get rid
know
of a
that
bomb.
fans aren't asking for Batman to be playing hockey, but sometimes when they're like, Matt Reeves, why don't you want to do Clayface? I'm like, would that even be something that you would want to see from Matt Reeves? Like, let's be honest.
So
Yeah.
the scarecrow that they
Daniel Day-Lewis as Clayface, come on now.
the scarecrow that they
Get
had
him out of the cobbler.
the scarecrow that they had in Nolan's Batman was just fine.
Yeah.
It was a guy who he can make you hallucinate. Whole thing, it was just fine. It was terrifying. He had the fucking thing on,
Mm-hmm.
the whole nine. Look, give you an example of a villain. They made the last Riddler a serial killer.
Yeah.
Right? He does riddles. He got to do the riddles,
Yeah.
or he not the Riddler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Whoa,
So
Joker did what Joker does.
No.
Joker told fucking jokes. He had an obnoxious laugh.
Nothing. No,
He was an agent of chaos. He was a real Joker.
You got to
See, and I think
He was
that's
a real Joker.
You got to do the riddles. If you just
You gotta do the riddles.
do the riddles. You're the Riddler. So you can do whatever you want.
He's in Riddler's
You can be
Twitch chat, like,
you
do
can
the
be
riddles,
an
do the riddles.
environmental.
Y'all
in the
didn't
Discord.
tell me one thing that made this Joker un-Joker. Like,
He
y'all
didn't
just
scheme. The Joker got a scheme.
he did scheme.
He's a schemer.
He did scheme.
He brought a gun to
He
the
did
show.
scheme.
No, it's not scheming enough.
But it
It's
didn't
not
have the
scheming.
flag that
All
goes
right,
bang,
man.
Not
bang.
a scheme. He
I
got a
think
scheme,
and I
bro.
think
He got a
you-
plot.
Oh,
talk
because here's the
about
thing.
it.
If I'm gonna be
The
real,
Joker is a criminal
did
mastermind.
where were the penguins in the Penguin?
What?
My penguin. Where were the penguins? Where were little Waddle
Yeah,
and
you're not
homies?
being serious.
Yeah.
He
No,
waddled.
no, because that's the
Yeah,
argument
he
we're
Colin Farrell
having.
waddled.
I'm not talking about that. Joker
Colin
is a
Farrell
criminal.
waddled.
No,
if I look up
if
Joker,
if I see the penguin,
Okay,
I want to
can I ask you a
see
question?
some penguins
Can I ask you
waddling
a
around.
question. Ken is the most important thing about the Joker. His superpower is that he's a criminal mastermind.
No,
Okay.
you're whoa.
All right, dog.
You're telling me
This
the
movie won
number
Oscars,
one,
by the way. This movie
number
won
one thing that
Oscars.
makes the Joker is that he's a criminal mastermind.
That's the number one thing, bro. He's a criminal mastermind. He's the greatest villain. He's a criminal mastermind. All right, you got it, bro. If the Joker don't,
No, we're saying the number one trait for the
number one
Joker to
thing,
have.
He's a criminal. He's the most dangerous criminal mastermind. That they're
No,
all of that stuff.
no.
Criminal mastermind. Criminal mastermind. I'm gonna look up
Criminal,
I think-
criminal. No, sometimes the Joker is a criminal mastermind.
Nah, he always is. He's a criminal mastermind.
I think the thing, and you mentioned a little bit, like the Joker does some Joker stuff. I think the entire problem with this movie, what it says about mental illness, what it says about wealth inequality, the entire thing, is that it just says it and thinks it's saying something about it,
And it says nothing.
and it says nothing.
Well, you are absolutely right. I 100% agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
You not want to know what else does that?
What?
the other 99% of comic book movies that we talked about.
Yeah, but
this
they're not
one's got-
positioned as like, oh man, we're gonna go deep into this, man.
Yeah, and this one's got fucking Oscars. What do you
whoa,
think?
whoa. It's not this movie's fault. They wanted to throw a bunch of Oscars at it. Here's what I'll say.
It's a really good performance.
It's a really like people act like Joaquin Phoenix was acting his ass off, bro.
He's doing his thing, even as the Joker hater. He's absolutely doing his thing in this movie.
And you guys are 100% right. There were times in this movie where what it does or does not say about mental health and the wealth and
Which is goose egg,
What's
zero,
what's
nothing.
the first ability of the Joker?
we're talking about ability.
Criminal mastermind.
It does say that on the
put that up on the screen.
Screenshot the Wikipedia.
Like, put that up on the screen. Put that up on the screen. The first thing, criminal mastermind. He's a criminal mastermind. Okay, wait. In the DC universe, the Joker is portrayed as a what?
Criminal mastermind.
Criminal mastermind. And the antithesis of Batman in personality and in appearance. He's a criminal mastermind.
So you're telling me in every single
You got a burrito?
portrayal that we've seen of the Joker, whether it is in comic books, TV, or movies, the only thing fucking Joker has ever been is a criminal
I
mastermind.
never said the only thing, but I'm saying it's one thing he has to be.
It's not
It's
one
like-
thing.
it's- let me tell you something. Let's
If
say
he's not that every single time,
what?
Does he get a burrito in his pocket?
Oh my God, Steve! Stand up, bro.
nigga, what?
Stand up, Steve. Why do you have a burrito in your pocket, bro?
This motherfucker got beef.
This nigga. Why do you have a burrito in your pocket, Steve?
It's a taco, first of all.
Like that makes it better.
See what I'm saying?
That's some white-
He's a taco mastermind.
You want to know what it is like? Some sociopath white boy shit. To have a warm fucking burrito in your pocket,
Bro,
and then eat
bro,
that shit.
I'm not gonna lie.
He bricked up with a burrito.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, he bricked up with a burrito, bro. Why
I'll
would
be
you
honest.
put? Why
I'll
would
be
you
honest.
put?
All right,
Why would
all
you
right,
put the
I'll-
burrito in?
can I
Why would you
explain?
put it in
Can I
your
explain?
pocket, bro?
Can I explain?
Why?
All right, so we got the tacos here.
Yeah.
I was in a rush to come into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I was grabbing all of my stuff, put the burrito in my pocket, was gonna put it down, legitimately forgot it was in my
That's
pocket.
actually disgusting.
It's
Because you
It's
put the-
wrapped.
but it's on your thigh though.
yeah, bro.
Okay.
Here's
It's
the
on-
thing:
it's very-
eating a warm. Because here's the thing:
That's
eating a
disgusting.
warm
That's nasty,
thigh
dog. That's
taco,
nasty.
Thigh
bro.
heat burrito.
Come on,
You
man.
didn't thigh microwave a taco. That's nasty.
That's
Steve.
nuts,
That's
man.
white.
Hey, here's the
That's
thing.
white,
meat
bro.
taco's crazy.
Here's the
bro.
thing: you gonna be going to the club after this. We're gonna be like,
Club, it's a Wednesday. What are you talking about?
What is that? Cilantro?
Who smell like? You smell
Like, what is that? Like, you smell like
Guys, that was a
is that
mess.
brisket?
Wait,
Rusty. Anyway, we want to give this a minute.
Hey, we can't record
Nuts.
late again, bro.
Nah, bro. Let's wrap this up.
Hold on, real quick. It won a lot of awards.
It
won
won two Academy Awards. These were all of the Academy Awards it was nominated for.
Okay, go for it.
Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Film Editing, Makeup and Hairstyling, Original Score, Sound Editing, and Sound Mixing.
And it went
Damn.
for score and best actor.
Best Actor.
2020, harbinger of things to come.
So
All right, but here's the thing: who was Joaquin competing against?
he was up against Leo for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Okay.
Adam Driver in Marriage Story,
Mm.
Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory, did not see that.
Never saw that before.
And then Jonathan Pryce in The Two Popes.
Good for Antonio Banderas. I didn't realize he had a best actor.
Oh, he's been
So
running around.
here's what I'll say: I am not a fan of superhero movies taking over the Oscars. I don't think they ever will. But when it happens, or they try to make it happen, I'm like, get this fuck out of here. But that's not the strongest year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
No,
definitely a weak
it's
year.
not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a thin year. It's
It's not my favorite performance of the year, but when you look at the category, you're like,
Yeah.
hey, all right.
I do think if like you cast anybody other than Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker in that movie, like we're talking about it as like one of the worst films
Yeah.
like of the decade.
I just don't agree. I can understand it. I just don't agree. I think the movie itself is fine. I think the movie only fails as an exploration into Gotham. I think it's deserving of like all of that. It's very well acted. It's well paced. Like there's a movie called Falling Down.
Oh yeah, Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas, where he just fucking goes nuts.
That's a great movie.
In the movie, it's that movie is kind of a poor man's Joker in a way.
I like that movie a lot.
Because here's
But
the
the thing
thing.
is, it doesn't have the prestige.
Sure, but like I don't know.
Also,
I
you
love
got
that
to your
movie.
point. This is a funny movie to me. This isn't like a rewatchable movie to me. Like
No,
this is a
God.
very
No,
like
absolutely.
depressing ass.
I had to pause it multiple times. I
With
literally, I
breaks,
was watching,
this movie's
brother.
3.5 hours.
I'm in the office. I'm trying to watch it. The scene after he shoots the three dudes, I had to pause it. It took like a 10, 15 minute break. After the Zazie Beetz reveal, I took like 90 minutes.
Greatest twist.
Oh my God. It's
No.
not a
Because you
twist.
know, because
Shut
you know
up.
what's happening.
It's not a
Here's the
twist.
thing, and it's also,
No.
Arthur. Shout
Oh
out to
my
him. He's going
God.
through a lot, but he is lucid enough to be like, if I'm gonna be clapping any cheeks, it's gonna be Zazie.
Can I be honest with you?
Nuts.
I'll say this all the time. I do like that he make believe the black lady.
Yeah.
In
With a child.
Make believe the black
He
lady
was the
is
stepdad who stepped up.
crazy.
Yeah,
You
he
know?
was. He the fact that he in his dreams that it was a sister, that means something to me.
But he did also fuck over Paperboy. Paperboy was trying to help him out, and he read the shit.
I forgot he was in it. I forgot. Until
Yeah,
I watched it,
wow.
I was like, he's in it. Shea Wingham's in it.
Very odd.
Shout out Shea Wingham.
Odd shows up. I'm like,
For 5 minutes.
I'm like, were they just chilling on the set of Atlanta? And then,
Right.
and then she went, hey, we need you for a day.
Lakeith, Brian, come down.
It's
come
not
down.
like he wasn't
We're
a-
buddies, right?
And it's not like he wasn't a man then.
No,
He
I
was
was surprised. It's not even like, oh, I was like, your agent, do you think he got this role maybe season 1 of Atlanta?
Could be.
Or
Could be.
signed up early and was like, damn, all right.
And he
well,
was scheming to be a good
I
Optimus.
mean, he's
anyway,
been in
so-
a lot. Okay, so Eternals comes out
Megatron.
the year after
Megatron,
that, right?
Optimus,
2021.
No, well, this came out 2019.
19,
So then it
yeah.
would
Oh,
have
so
to be
2
like,
years.
2 years, yeah.
So yeah, he was messing around doing stuff. I thought he would have more to do in it. Look, the Joker is not a very enjoyable movie, but
No.
not every movie that is super good is enjoyable.
Right.
Like I watch There Will Be Blood all the time. A lot of people say that's not an
Jesus
enjoyable
Christ,
movie. I
brother.
watch it all the time. I think it's
That's
a very
all right.
enjoyable movie.
It is one of the greatest movies of all time. What mental space are you in? you like,
Yeah, no.
we
We
turn
need
on
kicking
There Will Be
that.
Blood.
Let's lock in.
First
Did
of all,
you have a very good
milkshake.
day
first
and
of
then
all,
see that?
there are several scenes in that movie that are like Charles. You say the Joker is funny. There are several scenes.
Drainage,
There are several
Eli.
scenes in There Will Be Blood that are laugh out loud funny. I'm going to come over to your house tonight and kill you while you're sleeping. And the people from Standard Oil are like, what the fuck are you talking about, Daniel? Like, why are you saying that you're going to come over to my house and kill me while I'm sleeping? Think about it. And walks out of the fucking thing. Like, he's
He's nuts.
it's kind of the same type of movie.
Mm.
Bruh.
This is the hottest take ever.
There Will Be
Welcome
Blood
back
and
to the
Joe
Hottest
is kind
Take.
of the same movie.
Wait. You don't think that There Will Be Blood is about Daniel Plainview's descent into madness as the competition to be the greatest oil man and all of that stuff
Right, but that's
takes
like
over his entire life?
yeah, but that's like a profoundly deep and emotional look into like the pitfalls of greed and capitalism.
I wasn't equating the movies in terms of
Quality.
their societal merit.
Sure.
I'm just saying he gets crazier and crazier throughout the entire
Right.
movie to the point to where he murders 2 niggas in that movie.
Yeah,
it's
I
kinda
know.
like this, and at the end of the fucking film, he beats the guy to death with a fucking bowling pin. Or
yeah,
whatever.
no, which is nuts.
Does he dance down some staircases, though?
He doesn't.
To me, this is just Taxi Driver and he's wearing a Joker Fortnite skin. That's
So
all that I
but
like.
also- and here's the thing, we
Taxi
gotta
Driver
stop.
is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I know. And
Yeah,
it's
but
just
it's
a cover song
cosplay,
of that.
though.
It's a
It
cover
was-
of that.
But and here's the thing. That's what a lot of these movies are now, which is just like every superhero movie we get now, the directors are doing that director bullshit where they're just like, you know what? This is just my 70s blah blah blah. And they drop some Scorsese movie and you're just like, motherfucker, you made it Aquaman.
Logan is a Western.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier
Logan is
is a
Unforgiven.
spy theory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
I mean, look, it depends on this is what I'm saying. I have no problem with somebody doing a movie like that and doing a genre take on the movie.
Yeah.
I don't doing an homage. As long as Captain America doesn't fly in the movie. Meaning as long as it's a Captain America movie. Like as long as long as in the film
so Anthony Mackie can't fly?
he got wings.
Yeah, I'm like,
You know what I'm saying? He the man. By the way,
What? You said Captain America can't fly. I'm asking.
No. I'm saying for you, you might want to make that right. Okay. There's been some talk.
Oh, talking
Been
the town?
some talk?
Talking the town?
It's been some talk.
Is it time for a peace talks?
Been some talk about appearances and things like that. You might want to make that right. We might have to have. Remember when Obama had the beer summit after the
Oh, wow.
Remember when Obama sat down and had a beer with the fucking police that tried to fucking shoot up the president of Harvard or whatever the fuck happened? And Obama was like, let's get down and have a beer and talk about racism. Love you,
Who was in
Bear.
the beer summit?
Bad
Let me
moment.
see.
Are we gonna have that?
It was him, Biden. Who are these people?
So the beer summit is him. So that's the guy right there. That's the he was the president of Harvard. What was his name?
Oh, man.
Oh,
Oh, yes. Well, this is when
He wasn't the
got-
president of Harvard. He was like the president of some
Henry
kind
Louis
of dean
Gates.
of Harvard. Henry Louis Gates. Oh, the
Yeah.
fucking
Oh,
the guy
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
So he
From Roots?
the guy from the Finding
And then
Nemo show.
Sergeant James Crowley.
So Henry Louis Gates had come home,
Yeah.
or he was going to his house or something like that, and he was going into his own house.
Yeah.
And the cop didn't think that he lived there.
Yes.
Oh, I
and,
remember that.
and so the cop didn't think that
It's
he
coming
lived
back to me
there.
now, yeah.
And he's like, the dude is like, this is my crib. Fuck out of my crib. And the cop was fucking over him in his own house. And rather than deal with it, Obama was like, let's everybody have a beer together and talk
Who
about
am
it.
I in this scenario with Anthony Mackie?
You the police.
You the cop. Yeah, you definitely the cop. Yeah. Are we gonna have it on the pod? Can we have it on the pod?
Yeah, you the
Beer
police.
summit on the pod?
Beer summit on the pod?
That man wasn't doing nothing to you.
I said I believe in him. The rest of the world don't.
That's not true.
That's wow.
That's not, okay, you just doubled down. So
Beer summit over.
no, we're gonna have a beer summit here, but you know what's gonna happen if he does come on the podcast? I'm gonna let him be himself. I'm gonna see if you can handle the heat.
No, that's when Charles opts out.
Nah, he won't opt out.
You can't
Honestly,
opt out of
No,
that.
one thing about Charles, I'll say this. Charles ain't no hoe. He don't back down.
Standing on business.
Yep, 10 toes.
Stand on
You
10
can say-
toes.
you
One man
can say
arm.
what you want about him. You don't back down. All right, so Joker, we saw it.
Are we excited for Folie do?
No.
Absolutely
Hell
not.
Let's
no.
go.
Hell no. So they're gonna say this the same movie, but they're gonna add fake singing to it? I'm not there, buddy. That's
I am
not
very
for me.
excited to have Lady Gaga elevate this.
Y'all
material.
are acting like Joker's not a top 5 comic book villain movie.
Okay.
I mean, it's not
Okay.
very
All right.
deep, but the movie's good.
The movie's good.
No.
All right. Sure.
It's not
Disagree.
great. All right, whoa. The movie is not even at the bottom level of
I don't
some of
like
the
it.
movies we've seen while we've been doing this.
I don't like it.
Fair, but like just because it's shot well and has a good score and a good lead performance,
Well,
it doesn't
just because
make
it has one of the greatest acting performances of the last couple years
Wouldn't
and a
call
good
it that.
score and it looks pretty good.
wouldn't call it that.
I don't like it.
Y'all motherfuckers, y'all was talking about Agatha 45
I don't
minutes
like
ago.
it.
Come on,
You opted
Come on,
out,
bro.
You don't
I
have
didn't
anything
even
to say
hear
about
it. I
Agatha.
didn't even hear it. But I will say before we got out of here that I do think some of the people that are talking about how bad of a movie Joker are, I'm not saying to you guys, I'm saying there's some people out there that are reacting to a cultural feeling about the movie
Yes.
and a cultural criticism about the movie that to me either transcends or supersedes an actual critical opinion of the film itself. I'm not saying that there aren't people out there.
Right.
I'm not superimposing my opinions on anyone else. And if it feels like I'm doing that, I apologize. I'm not saying there are people out there that weren't literally disgusted, legitimately, shall I say, disgusted by some of the stuff that was going on in the movie and couldn't fuck with it.
And I will say this, and in defense of that, I think that there can be bad faith interpretations of this movie, regardless of whether or not it ends up being an opinion that I agree with.
Right.
People can hate this movie for what I could think are like the wrong reasons or bad faith reasons. Like, I don't think that this is legitimately like incel glorification or anything having to do with like a certain like social agenda that I personally don't disagree with. I don't think this movie's smart enough to have a social agenda.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be mean, but I'm like, if
Yeah.
people can feel the way I felt even before I saw it. I was like, it took me forever to see. I saw this year. I was like, fuck Joker. There is a level, no shots. This is a great looking movie. Shout out everyone who made it. To your point, Steve, I don't know if this movie is deep enough to even get that
But
mad.
that's
about it.
that's exactly my point, though.
And that's our problem with it. It's like it acts like a much taller movie. It stands a lot higher than it actually is.
I actually don't think Todd Phillips probably thinks that. I
No.
think it is like
no, but like
I think people treated it like that.
Exactly.
I think
Yes.
there was an annoying contingent that acted like this was one of the greatest cinematic achievements of all time.
Mhm.
And I'm
Or
like,
that it was-
I can't think of that.
I think it was that, and also the people who were like, "This is detrimental." Incels, all
bait
this,
and yada, yada.
I left
Like-
the movie going like, "Bro, was this what y'all was worried about?"
like
bro?
it's just stupid.
So-
I
Yeah.
just
So-
think it's that.
I number one, I agree with you guys. Number one, I think Todd Phillips thinks that he made The Godfather.
You think?
Well, I have some really bad news for you, Todd.
he's making
I don't know,
Godfather
he's
Part
like-
3 right
well,
now.
no, Let's not act like Todd got some classics.
Like
The Hangover?
Todd is a great film.
Todd got
Yeah,
some-
no,
But-
yeah, great.
Hangover 2.
But I do think though that
Hangover 2 is
the movie does examine it does have something, to your point, to say about systemic failure in society and what that means for people who need a little bit of extra help,
Yeah.
or maybe a little bit of extra monitoring. I will say, last thing I'll say about this film, they never make movies like this with black leads, right? Like, so anytime there's a black lead in a movie that kind of snaps, there's always so the only movies I can think about this was like Samuel L. Jackson movies, maybe like, what's the movie with Samuel L. Jackson where him and Ben Affleck are going back and forth with each other? Do you remember this movie? Did y'all see this? Y'all didn't see this one? Samuel L. Jackson.
Changing Lanes?
Changing Lanes. So there's a movie where Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Affleck have some kind of run-in where Ben Affleck is a lawyer and he's supposed to file some kind of paper or do something. It's been a long time since I've seen it. He doesn't do it. And he fucks over Sam Jackson in a way, a major inconvenience, and Sam Jackson spends the rest of the movie fucking with him.
Yeah.
Right? Taking his tires off his car, doing crazy stuff. And then another Sam Jackson movie is a movie called 187, where he's a teacher in an LA school, and early on in the movie, Method Man stabs him while he's in New York, and he's dealing with these gangs in this LA school, and he decides to fight back. Maybe you could argue that those two performances, as far as films that I'm thinking of, are somebody's descent into madness. But what you don't see are films with black leads just mad at society and fucking everything up. And that's because, in my opinion, I'm not gonna get into a whole thing.
No, talk your shit.
No, I'm not gonna get into a whole thing.
Talk your shit, bro.
But when we see these movies about particularly white guys, white leads that are just super mad because the society that they essentially built isn't working for them, it always tickles me a little bit. It always tickles me a little bit because what these movies do a lot of the time, even Falling Down, you empathize with that character.
Yeah.
He's got a lot going on personally. He's stuck in fucking traffic. He's talking about the fact that the fucking Big Mac don't look the way he runs into these guys, these gang members. He takes their Tech 9, and he's had enough with the bullshit world that he lives in until he's dead at the end of the movie. Joker, same thing. Taxi Driver, same thing. With everything else that all minorities and indigenous people are going through, there's never a movie that like gives to their rage and pours into their rage and makes the movie-going public think that there's something about their life that would trigger them to do a whole bunch of shit like that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't want to actually, to me, I think people are uncomfortable actually investigating the pent-up rage of people that don't have the power to control a society.
Oh, I mean, I agree with this totally, but don't you think this is a larger thing of like, they don't let black or any people of color even get half the time to this level of nuance in most genres? If you think about it, like, how many like truly like black rom-coms compared to white rom-coms do we have where it's just like, oh, these black people can fall in love and there's no fucking big ass like generational trauma shit that we got to throw in there just to be like, it's hard being like, it's like you kind of have to be the majority.
Yeah.
You definitely have to be the majority to get these type of movies.
Yeah, and-
Culturally, you would say?
well,
No. I'm saying for Hollywood and the people who give money out for movies like this, they have so many movies of white men descending into madness to be like, hey, like, yeah, this is something that we're used to as a society. when you brought up that, like, how many Descent into Madness movies do we have for Black people? I literally was like sitting here, was like, just thinking, like, and not even one. And I'm just like, because it takes a certain level of, okay, we're not afraid of this character. When you see a white man on screen, you're just like, oh, you're trained to be like, oh, it's okay if he's a little angry. It's okay if he's not okay. I sympathize with them. We don't get that a lot of times.
Yeah, because people don't empathize, right? They see a white man on screen, they're like, oh man, we feel bad for that.
It's
guy.
not his
going
fault.
crazy. Black man going crazy. So,
I mean, here's the thing.
Like,
Not to bring it up, I like this movie a lot. It was a little bullshit when I was watching Rebel Ridge. I'm like, this man's getting busy, but there's also a little. I'm like,
reason.
Right, yeah.
Wait, they fucking forced his hand.
They did.
To be honest with you, he did not kick nearly as much ass in that
No.
movie as I thought.
That's
that
my
was
biggest.
going to.
My biggest note was I was like,
You could have went a lot harder.
here's the thing. If that was the nigga from Jack Reacher,
Oh, yeah.
a little
Score
bit
Adeniran.
easier.
going crazy.
You know?
Bruh, they fucked over him so bad. We should have done Rebel Ridge because that's my Black Batman.
That's a good movie.
Whoa,
I like
no.
that movie a lot.
I think he could play him. He
couldn't play Jon Stewart? They said
Not Jon Stewart.
They got Damson trying to play Jon Stewart
All
or
right,
Jon Stewart.
We gotta go.
You don't like no words?
No, I like it. I like it.
We gotta do the midnight meter. We gotta do the
midnight meter for Joker.
All
Yeah.
right, midnight meter, because we have to get out of here really quick. Proprietary midnight scaling technology, 1 to 10, normal, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. We reserve 11 and 12 for true game changers. Mint Boy, start us off, Jomi.
I'm giving it a 5. Give it a 5.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Oh,
I'm giving it a 5.
man.
You got the, it's shot on a camera and it's screened in a theater, which technically counts as a film. And
Right.
then Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of the Joker, really gives it a boost.
Oh,
but
it's
I'm giving
going
it
to
a
be
5.
fun when we do the fucking Midnight Mulligans, bro. Because this is a 5 is insane.
Don't worry.
I'm never watching this movie again.
No, yeah.
I'm never watching this movie again. Steve.
4. For those exact same reasons that Jomi said. Shot well. Joaquin
just be honest
Phoenix.
with you, I can't give
Score.
the movie anything lower than a 9.
A 9.
It's just
What?
It's a good movie.
That's glazing.
It's not.
That's
It's not a
glazing.
movie.
Insane.
It's not a movie for me.
I would have thought you would have given it like a 7 or
No,
an 8.
All right,
bruh.
here's the thing.
It's
Y'all are
not-
acting
it's
like this is
not
an
a-
unwatchable movie. Like,
It's not
come
a
on,
To
bro.
me,
It's
it
not a
is.
movie.
To me, it is. To me,
It's not a
it
movie.
is.
It's not a movie for me. It's all those things, but it's excellent filmmaking, and so I can't give the movie anything less than a 9. It's a really fantastic film that's just not for me. So I got to be objective. I get what y'all saying, but I can't give the movie anything lower than a 9.
So there's going to be a score high praise for me, even if the number doesn't sound like this. I'm giving this a very, 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 very strong 7. Like, I
Yeah.
think that this is like, I don't politically align with the movie, but entertainment wise, Joaquin's performance, it's a 7. The thing that stops it from being an 8 is I can't co-sign all the white bullshit that's going on. in this movie.
I get it.
You know, like, but
I get it. I'm really
strong 7.
I get it. I'm divorcing myself away from like all of that stuff and just go, when I saw Joke, The Revenant. The Revenant is not an offensive movie.
Mm-hmm.
I saw The Revenant one time, never again.
Same.
Like, never again.
Mhm.
Amazing film.
Mm-hmm.
Amazingly shot, amazing action, kinetic story. I'm not watching him
With
get
that
his
bear.
cheeks clapped by a bear.
That's not
again.
what happens.
Like, I'm saying, I'll never look at that film again.
You know what?
I felt
movie-
physically cold in my bones watching that
Jesus.
movie.
This-
Hopeless.
This to me is the Coen Brothers movie. What's the one with Oscar Isaac?
I never saw one.
Llewyn Davis?
Oh, Inside Llewyn
Inside
Davis?
Llewyn
Yeah,
Davis.
yeah.
Yeah, when he's just getting fucked over the whole movie, I'm like, all right, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm just
He's
like,
got
I
the
can't.
cat.
The whole
But
Yeah.
you
movie,
ask me
nah,
right
bro.
now, is The Revenant good? Yeah, it's excellent. Not for Van. Bear, fucking cold.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy shooting each other.
Yeah.
Sepsis. like all fucking gangrene in the snow.
I
Sucks.
will never
Sucks.
watch this movie.
I think about the shoot.
I can't watch
And
it.
I'm like, I think that's a tough shoot, man. Anyway. All right, that's a wrap. This week, the House of R will give you their deep dive on the latest episodes of Rings of Power and Agatha All Along. Joe,
Call
I
me
want
back.
to talk to you, Joe, about young Griff and Aegon Targaryen, Riverlands, Harrenhal, Harren the Black,
All right.
Baratheon family. Did you know the Baratheons and Targaryens are related? Did you know that?
Everybody in Westeros.
I
is
mean, we're all
related.
technically related if we go back far enough.
It's bastards, and they were together, and all of that. I want to do. I like it. I like all of Game of Thrones, and then I can tell you this. I'm getting started on Lord of the Rings lore in October.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, your brother's so happy.
My brother's so happy. It's Friday. Button Ash will be back to talk about the latest Legend of Zelda game, which Steve doesn't know anything about. And on Saturday, Ringiverse Recommends returns with our best Rex for the month of September. Our producer is Steve the Architect Ahlman. Jonathan. Chocolate Drop, Mr. Midnight, Kermah. Okay, I apologize. Aleya, O'Brien, Zenieris, Jomi the Explainer, Adeniran. Actually, Jomi the Milk Merchant, Adeniran.
Can't do this.
Jomi the Brick Buster.
Brick Buster.
Nah. Jomi the Brick Buster. Also, Jom King Phoenix. Hashtag Jom King Phoenix. Additional production from Dawacha, Arjuna, Ramgopal. Chuck, take us out.
Steve got a taco in his pocket. Joe can't be bothered to pick up the line. And roll out with your boy, Mr. Opt-outimus Prime. Woo!
Yeah.
That's like the Lady Gaga's American Gangster. Remember when Holmes
Yeah.
made a whole album like he was Frank Lucas?
Well, let's wait for the movie to be good.
All right.
Because that's a good movie, American Gangster.
Y'all, stop acting like y'all wasn't dancing to Lady. Lady Gaga got some joints.
I
Lady
never
Gaga's
said. I
amazing.
never.
No, no,
pretty
no,
good.
no.
I never said nothing.
Never said that.
That would
Favorite
contradict
Lady Gaga
that.
song is?
Which one?
Alejandro.
Oh.
Alejandro.
Alejandro.
Alejandro. Oh, that's my shit.
That's my.
Come
great.
on, bro.
Bro, songs are really good. Songs are good.
I remember Applause.
Applause is
Just
good.
Dance.
Oh, Applause is so good.
Applause is
Just
good.
Dance.
Hey,
Gonna
you know
be
what else I like?
okay.
I like so Applause is good. Applause is because that's a really good one.
I wanna.
So Alejandro is good. Applause is
I
good.
like Bad Romance a lot.
Obviously, Bad Romance is good.
I just dig it.
I like Bad Romance is good, but then I also like Sia's songs.
Oh, you like
Sia?
I love Sia.
All right.
What's that one? Tainted Heart? Or what is it called? Wilted Heart. What she talks about? She's a whatever. Fuck it. I can't
She got
remember
that
the-
chandelier joint, right?
Oh my God, bro! Sia. Can you think about like what it must feel like to be in the studio making Chandelier?
Or just the engineer just being like, damn, she's going for it.
Boy, I'm just be in the fucking room, beat pill all the way up. Like just
Beat pill's crazy.
Beat pill all the way up.
You're in the studio. Why would you need a beat pill?
I'm talking about myself.
Okay.
I like, see you.